My mouth is watering right now, you guys. I'm getting so hungry. What about you looking at all these food pictures? Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to Sunday Sofa Time. Today on Sunday Sofa Time, we're going to be talking about all the tasty food I had on the Royal Caribbean Anthem of the Seas. This is a video that I was planning to do a while ago, actually, and I don't know why I just never got around to doing it. And now, since I have been on the Anthem, I've also done a trip to Disney World and I was on the MSC Meraviglia. And by the way, there's going to be videos about the food of both of those trips coming soon. So anyways, that is what we're going to be talking about today, and I'm going to begin also with a tangent, surprise, and say that I bought this shirt when I was in London for work. When was that? Just in January. I bought it at Superdry. I don't like clothes shopping. I usually don't do a lot of clothes shopping just because I feel like I can hardly ever find things that really fit me, and I just don't like spending money on clothes. I would much rather spend it on traveling. Anyways, I went on like a shopping spree and treated myself to some new clothes at Superdry. This is one of them. And I just noticed this whole thing here is crooked. Like, do you see that? Like, especially this part is crooked, but this, you know, it should be like that. And then this part should be like even more, you know what I mean? How annoying! And it wasn't cheap. Superdry isn't a cheap clothing store, and this is one of the reasons why I don't like to buy clothes. All right, let's get back to the topic of this video, food. I took a ton of pictures of, I want to say, every single plate that I ate in the Windjammer Cafe, the buffet, on the Anthem of the Seas, and we're going to go through them right now. And I don't remember exactly if, like, plate 1 and plate 2, if I ate them at one sitting, or if, like, that was lunch and dinner. So I'm just going to go through and we'll look at what it was, and I'll tell you about what I remember about it. Sound good? Good. Plate 1, I know I'm going to lose track of the numbers sometime along the way, but anyways, so plate 1 for now. I was so happy to see that they had not only taco chips on the ship, but also guacamole. And that was something that I think was at the buffet every day. And you know me, I can eat taco chips and guacamole every day and be happy. So, had some of that, had some of this really great, really sort of light and airy but crispy on the outside garlic bread. And then I made myself a salad with mixed greens, some olives, some blue cheese, it looks like some grilled vegetables, and I'm sure that's ranch dressing. Although, because I put blue cheese on it, that might also be blue cheese dressing. But the flavors were great. I had nothing to complain about with that plate. Moving on, plate 2, I'm still counting. These are some, it looks like some fried noodles with veggies. And, you know, when I go to the buffet, and, you know, I usually go to the buffet, I like to pimp the things that are there anyways. One of the things that I enjoy about the buffet is just having so many options and being able to try so many things, and to know that if I take a little bit of something and I really like it, well then I can take more. If I take a little bit of something and I don't like it, well then I don't have to eat any more of it. Is that kind of childish in a way? It's like being a big kid, actually, isn't it? But so I usually like to pimp things, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't usually like just take a piece of pizza and eat it like it is. I like to, you know, find something else to put on it or whatever. Do you guys do that too? Anyways, what I wanted to mention was, on this plate of noodles, I have not pimped it at all. I can tell that is how it was served. And I really enjoy the Indian and the Asian flair, I guess you could say, of the dishes offered in the Windjammer on Royal Caribbean. And it's a huge, huge difference, a huge comparison that I noticed on the MSC Meraviglia, where I just was like last week, a week ago, 10 days ago. Anyways, the food on MSC has gotten much better than it was from our first cruise, but one thing that was missing from the buffet was stuff like this. So, just so you know. Moving on. Oh, yeah, this picture. This was just like the toppings bar for the ice cream. And, I mean, look at how amazing that is. And talk about, you know, being a kid again. Look at all those sprinkles and chocolate chips and coconut and nuts and, you know, fruit and stuff like that. Although I don't think I know any kid who likes to put fresh fruit on their ice cream. But yeah, so tasty. Thank you, Royal Caribbean, for providing us with this. Moving on. Oh, the next picture. This is from my room service meal that I had, and I made a whole video about that. So if you're really into food and you're really into listening to me talk and eat food, then go watch that video. If I think about it, it's linked in the description below. But oh, here's another tangent. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I mean, wait, let me backtrack. I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos, but in comparison to like sitting down and watching TV, usually when I have the TV on, it's YouTube videos that's on it. So I realize that, unfortunately, I very rarely comment on other people's videos or, when they say, look in the description below, there's a link to the video. I know, well, that's not relevant to me because I'm watching this on my TV and I can't click on the link. And so I guess that's one reason why I very rarely, actively put things in the links below. But I have a question for you guys here in between. Please write to me if you do watch this on your computer, because I think it's only when you're watching something on a computer that you would really like, go, okay, well, I'm going to scroll down there and click on that link, right? Because like I said, on my Apple TV, I never find or can click on any links, or rarely. So let me know if you guys watch it on your computer and you guys think I should put more links. Anyways, so what this was a fantastic, extremely cheesy quesadilla with some salsa, some extra guacamole. I think that was sour cream, or maybe it was ranch dressing. No, I bet it was ranch dressing. Oh no, the ranch dressing's down there. French fries, salad, which was a modified Cobb salad, so a vegetarian Cobb salad, and of course a piece of chocolate cake, which is always a tradition when I order room service. If it's offered, and it wasn't on the MSC Meraviglia. Yes, I really enjoyed everything about this meal. This was probably the best room service meal that I have had. And I didn't finish the quesadilla, so I put part of it in the fridge and had it for breakfast the next day, I think. This was very good. All right, the next picture is actually something that I didn't eat. I don't like seafood, but I just thought this was so pretty, and I thought it was cool that something like this was being offered, and I took a picture of it to show you all. So yeah, this was some kind of seafood, like a seafood salad. I think that's, like squid or something in there, and then some fresh vegetables, and every piece had a little piece of lemon on top of it that you could, like squeeze on top. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, this looks really good, but I don't, so. But I took a picture of it anyways, which I've already mentioned. Geez, I'm very chatty today, aren't I? Moving on. The next two pictures are what I ate in the Cafe 270. So 270 is this, like this venue at the very back of the Anthem of the Seas where they do shows and other things like that. And they also have a cafe there that's only open for breakfast and lunch. And I was really excited when I looked at the menu because there was quite a few vegetarian things being offered. However, I only ate there once because the food I got just was not good. So this was the mozzarella wrap, like the caprese wrap or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. And I really like cheese, but if you look at this, there was just so much cheese in there and not really a lot of vegetables. Like I would say it's more than half cheese. And like I said, I really like cheese, but even that was too much for me. And then speaking of cheese, the other thing that I got was a 3-cheese grilled cheese sandwich. And this wasn't even really a grilled cheese sandwich. It's like a baguette with 3 different kind of cheeses in it. But look, I mean, that cheese wasn't even really melted. And so, I don't know. I just wasn't happy with it. And if I remember right, I didn't eat there again. Moving on. Ooh, this is a good looking plate. And like I said, here's another thing that I pimped. So, this is, well, it's just sort of like a mix of things. This is some pasta salad with pesto. And then I made myself my own little salad and put some tomatoes and croutons and stuff on there. And actually, you know what? When I look at the carpet here, this is also from Cafe 270, but how can that be? Because I don't remember it being self-serve, or maybe it was self-serve for lunch? I just know that that's the carpet from 270, so yeah, but it looks good. Like, looking at it right now makes me hungry. And let's move on. Okay, the next picture is a picture that I took, and I know I posted it on Facebook, so if you followed me on Facebook, you've seen this picture already. And this was, I had some creative sassy caption about having late night pizza. And that's one thing that I really love about the bigger Royal Caribbean ships is that when you're walking through the ship, especially late at night, there's always some place where you can grab a bite to eat, like a slice of pizza that's included. And that's something I missed, even though the Meraviglia had a really great promenade in the middle, which reminded me of the bigger Royal Caribbean ships. There was no place to just grab a snack in there that was included in the price of the cruise. So something they should update. Anyways, so yeah, the next picture here, that pizza, I didn't have a piece of that. I can tell you that much because of the mushrooms on it. But I just thought it looked really good. And I think somebody on Facebook was asking me if they had improved the pizzas that they served because they were disappointed with the pizza on their Royal Caribbean cruise. So I took this picture and yeah, that does look like some really good pizza if you ask me. The next one is a very rare breakfast photo. I've talked about this before. I'm not really a big breakfast eater, but so what this is also something that I put together. So at the very bottom of this bowl is like half a scoop or so of Birker muesli. Then I grabbed like every seed they were offering. And this is something, I mean, how fancy is that? They've got like dried pumpkin seeds, dried sunflower seeds, also some dried toasted coconut. And these are all things that you can just like take and, use however you want. So I put it in my Birker muesli. And then I also put some chocolate chips in there as well. So, you know what? I need to eat right after this. I'm starting to get really hungry. So that was what I had for breakfast that day. Moving on. All right, so the next few pictures are pictures also of something that I didn't eat. I may have had one of these, but I don't remember which one. Maybe while looking at the pictures, I'll remember. But they had some fantastic donuts in the Windjammer. I mean, look at these things. That's like an Oreo donut, but I think they weren't allowed to use the word Oreo, so it was like called black and white cookie donut or something. And then some what was that, salted caramel crunch donut or something? Oh my gosh, you guys, these look so good right now, don't they? I don't know what these are with the blueberry on top, but they're obviously filled, and just look at how perfect they are. And this is like included in the price of your cruise. Basically like a free restaurant, Yes, look at all these fantastic, fantastic donuts. Yeah, I know that I had one of them, but I honestly can't remember right now which one it was. And I don't know why I didn't take a specific extra picture of it. Oh well. So, next plate. And this is also sort of a mix of things here. So, you can see I've got the guacamole down there on the lower right, but I've pimped it by putting some jalapenos and some salsa on top of it. Then I made myself another salad with the usual mixed greens. I put some carrots on top of it. There's some olives. That may also be blue cheese dressing because it's kind of dark, but my usual go-to is ranch. And then that is some crumbled goat cheese on top. And I mean, hey, crumbled goat cheese at the buffet, fancy. And that is actually not a tortilla. It's a chapati or ciabatta bread. So like the Indian flatbread. Moving on. Oh, here's some more donuts. Honey Crunch donuts. Yes. They look so good. I so want to have one of those right now. Okay, next plate is also something I pimped, and this was something I ended up not eating. I was really disappointed about it. So they had a build-your-own pasta bar most nights in the buffet, and where you can say, all right, I want some of that and some of that and some of that with that creamy sauce and some garlic, and then they make it all and toss it with the pasta fresh, which is something I really, really love. But they made this way, way too spicy. He asked me if I wanted it spicy, and I was like, sure, yeah, give me a little bit of spicy. And it was just way too much. I couldn't finish it. After the first few bites, my mouth was on fire, and I had to throw it away. I had to just leave it there because I couldn't eat it. I couldn't enjoy it, and it was painful. And I really don't like leaving that much food sitting there. But yeah, that's what I did. And in fact, even before I started eating it, I had put that crumbled goat cheese on top of it, and in order to try to get more of it down, I put even more cheese on it because I thought that sort of makes the spiciness milder. Anyways, so, oh look, another picture of donuts, and these are meringue donuts. I know I didn't have one of those because I'm not a big meringue fan, but I just thought they must have had some master donut maker on board for this cruise. Or, I mean, if anybody's cruised with the Anthem very recently, so right now it's almost beginning of March 2019. So if you've cruised on the Anthem recently, did they have all these donuts in the Windjammer as well? Next picture, also something I definitely didn't eat. This is some kind of fried meat cubes. Did I take a picture? Oh, I did. It's called jerk pork. So I don't remember exactly what it was that I found so interesting about this, but I took a picture for all of you meat eaters out there that they had some jerk pork. That pork. How does it get called a jerk all the time? Next picture. Oh, I see we're back at breakfast. I don't know, you know what? The next two pictures are breakfast. I must have been hungry that morning. So I took these things, and you can see there's a toasted English muffin there, some cucumbers, a very small amount of red onion, and then 3 cheese slices. And I'm sure I used those 3 things to make a sandwich, or I used all those things to make a sandwich in that English muffin. And then I had some fried potatoes there, which I also pimped by putting some salad on top of it, and that's most likely some ketchup. You know what? I bet this was a different day. I really can't imagine that I ate both of those things in the same morning. But I have some French toast here, a pancake, again with some chocolate pieces, and then some peanut butter and breakfast syrup. And I probably just, like mixed that all together and gulped it down. Okay, here's another thing that I like to do sometimes in the buffet is sometimes I just like to make myself a sandwich, because usually in cruise ship buffets they have really awesome bread. And so I'll grab a great piece of bread and then grab like all the fixins and put it all on the plate, and then I'll take it back to where we're sitting or where I'm sitting, and then I'll make a sandwich out of it. And then of course you need to have fries with the sandwich. So that's what I did here. You can see this really great piece of focaccia bread, some big chunks of cheese, some of the lettuce and all the stuff that I put in the middle of it. And then there is my sandwich. Yeah, so, oh, and if you look carefully at the back, you can see there is a bowl of ranch dressing there that I'm sure that I dipped it in. Okay, moving on. This was sort of a fancy plate. So they had like Asian tapas one night. So these are some mini vegetarian egg rolls. Those are some vegetarian samosas. In the middle is some more guacamole. And then I got some chips and some of these like long crispy bread. I don't know what there was like a mix between bread and chips. And I stuck those in the guacamole to make it look all fancy. And then what else do we see here? We see a chunk of blue cheese and a chunk of... what kind of cheese would that be? Maybe it's some white cheddar. Over on the left, you can see some really tasty, spicy dipping sauce. And then there is a cocktail there from the Bionic Bar. So, the bigger, newer Royal Caribbean ships, they have these bionic bartenders that, like, you just program in what drink you want. I've made a video about that as well, so you can search for it in my library. Or maybe I'll put a link to it in the description below. Moving on, here is, I guess this was Indian night. So I don't know, I can't remember exactly what the names of these dishes were, but one of them is, it's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of the name of it. So these are both Indian dishes. And here's a word of warning or a word of advice. Usually the Indian and the Asian food on cruise ships is made by people from India or other Asian region countries. And it's usually spicier than at least I'm used to. So just a word of warning. And I know somebody wrote to me recently to say they were disappointed that there was no spicy food on board, and I was like, huh? So these are 2 really tasty Indian things, and another piece of that chipata or chapati bread, which is made fresh on board. Really fantastic. All right, I'm going to go through the next few just a little bit quicker because the video is getting pretty long already. Oh, okay. This was something that I remember that I wanted to tell you guys about that I was a little bit disappointed about. And I mean, this is like, complaining at a very high level, but one night they had some really fancy cakes, and the only way that you could get a cake was there was somebody like serving them. So usually in the buffet, for most things, you just go and grab it yourself, like the donuts and the other desserts and stuff like that. You can just grab it yourself. But like I said, they had these like a fancy cake night, and so you had to say, oh, I would like a piece of that cake. And this was how she gave it to me. Do you see it's like separated from the bottom and it's falling over? And I thought, if you're going to have somebody serving the cake, then they should really serve it. Know what I mean? This is not how your cake should look. Oh, this was also something, so we're back to breakfast here. These are some toasted, actually grilled bagels with cream cheese and tomato, like sliced cherry tomatoes on top, which I just thought, what a really, cute little thing to serve. And this was another sort of like mishmash plate. So got some mixed vegetables there with some beans for extra protein, and some mini corn and some beets. And you know, I don't usually eat beets, but I just thought, okay, well, they're there. I'll put them in here. Why not? Got some nice bread there. That sort of orangish blob there, that's hummus. With red pepper in it, which was fantastic. Then some more guacamole with salsa on top, and some like double cheesy baked macaroni and cheese. My mouth is watering right now, you guys. I'm getting so hungry. What about you, looking at all these food pictures? But yeah, remember that mac and cheese to be especially tasty, because it had like some crispy melted cheese on top of it, and then whatever cheese was like mixed in with the noodles was especially creamy. It was really, really good. Then here are some more. Then they had a like nice cupcake night. So look at all these cool cupcakes, and in the end, oh, you know what? Look at some of those carrots got kind of melted. They look kind of sad or kind of perverted. But in the end, I ended up choosing. I don't know. Oh wait, this one. So I took one of these. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was like mint chocolate chip or something like that. We move along here. Oh, I remember this to be also especially tasty. So, but it was very fried, and I'm pretty sure I had heartburn that night. So in the bowl at the top is also some Indian dish with potatoes in it. I wish I could remember the name right now, but I can't. I'm sorry. Then that plate is actually 1, 2, 3, like main things, and then 2 dips. So there's Indian rice there. Up at the top, that's an onion bhaji. What are those called again? So it's like the Indian version of onion rings. It's like so crispy and tasty. And then at the bottom, that's like fried. That's also fried vegetables, or maybe that's like some tempura or something like that. I just remember loving this. Eating all that, although, like I said, it was all fried, and then I'm sure I had heartburn afterwards. And then that looks like a scone? No, that is like a coconut maroon is what that was. Oh, I can feel the texture of it in my mouth right now, looking at all this again. Moving on, we're back to breakfast. I guess I was kind of on a breakfast roll on the Anthem, but I made myself, these are, I think, banana pancakes. And then I put, as you can see, some chocolate chips and coconut on them, and then spread them with peanut butter. I think it's because, I don't know, on some fitness show I was watching or something, they were making like protein pancakes with peanut butter and chocolate and, all this stuff. And they were saying that it was like paleo or something like that. And I was like, okay, well, I'm making a paleo breakfast. And if you look at the top right, you can see that I used my friend Dino's advice, and I made myself a decaf iced mocha, which of course tasted fantastic together with those chocolatey pancakes. Moving on, I was back at the do-it-yourself pasta bar and tried to fix what they made for me, or what they made too spicy the last time. And actually, now that I look at this might have been the one that was too spicy, because if I scroll ahead, I see I also had some pizza and some pasta salad as well. So I'm assuming that this was the one that I had to sort of leave sitting there, because otherwise I can't imagine that I ate all that pasta and then also a piece of pizza and some more pasta salad. Yeah, this was another fun night where I tried a lot of different things. I made myself a salad. You can see there are some grilled vegetables there that I like sprinkled ranch dressing over. Gotta have the guacamole again. I bet I ate like 80% of the guacamole that was offered on board. And then look at that piece of juicy garlic focaccia bread with herbs and spices on top of it. Fantastic. I really enjoyed eating that. All right, I'm going to leave you here, I guess, with this picture. This is the last one I took, and that is a piece of warm chocolate cake with some vanilla ice cream on top of it and sprinkles. You got to have the sprinkles. And no, I didn't have the ice cream in a cone. I had it on some cake. I hope you guys enjoyed looking at this food, and I'm really sorry if you're watching this someplace where you can't get a snack or a bite to eat right now, because like I said, I am so hungry right now, and it's dinner time here anyways, so I'm gonna be able to have some dinner in a second. But now comes the time on Sunday Sofatime where I comment on your comments live on air. It's been a while since I've done this just because of the way that I've been like traveling and having to record the Sunday Sofa Times in advance. And last week's Sunday Sofa Time was the really long, it's over an hour live stream where I gave you like a rundown of the entire MSC cruise experience that I had. So go watch that if you're interested. But so these comments are from that video here on YouTube. And I'm going to start with one from Donald M. Donald M says the MSC Magnifica has the buffet, main dining room, and an Oriental fusion restaurant for an upgrade, that is. And he thanks for answering that question, Don. It was a question I asked in the video because I couldn't remember what dining options were on the Magnifica. I could only remember that we really didn't like the food. Kim Surratt asked, was there trivia, game shows, and such? Yes, there was, but it was nowhere near the amount and like the quality level that we've experienced on Royal Caribbean and NCL. If you've watched my videos when we were on the AIDA Luna, I think it was, the German brand of Carnival, the AIDA brand. These are the ships with the big mouths on the front of them. I felt like there was no trivia or anything like that offered on that cruise. So it was definitely more than AIDA, but not as much as like NCL or Royal Caribbean. All right, the last comment here is from Frankie Mathesens. Tough name to pronounce there, Frankie. I hope I did it justice. Frankie writes, on Meraviglia, you can get snacks on 3 locations besides the main dining room and buffet. Two locations serve cold snacks, sweets, and sandwiches, being the coffee bar and the Sky Lounge. You know, actually, Frankie, we did get some snacks in the Sky Lounge, but we had to like pester somebody to give them to us, which is kind of annoying. But I don't know where I'm not sure what the coffee bar would be that you were talking about. Anyways, he also writes, in the lounge on deck 5, they serve hot snacks served by the waiters during certain times. What lounge was that? I'm going to have to go back and look through the deck plans to see what you're talking about, Frankie. On busy days, we just got our breakfast in the coffee bar. You know, now I wish I had known that. I guess probably the reason that I didn't pay attention where the coffee bar was is just because I'm not much of a coffee drinker. But yeah, thanks for answering those questions, Frankie. What he's talking about was that I was saying that I feel like if you want a snack during the day or especially at night, at least I always went up to the buffet because I couldn't find any place else that was offering a snack included in the price of the cruise. So thank you, Frankie. Thank you, everybody, for sitting down with me talking about food and cruising again, 2 of the favorite things we talk about here on this channel. You know what to do. I'm going to stop saying these things, you know, if you like this, subscribe to my channel and click the like button, because I feel like everybody knows how YouTube works nowadays, so I don't need to tell you, right? I just wanted to, but I do like to say thank you for watching, thank you for hanging out, thank you for participating, writing your comments below, following me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I will see you next week here in front of the red sofa, but be sure to tune in on Friday for the next Disney World video, okay? Bye-bye!